Hey all, thanks for checking this video out. This is the quick recap and review of the first Ant-Man movie. Going back to check out first two Ant-Man movies after Quantumania dropped on Disney+. So let's get to it. In 1989, scientist Hank Pym resigns from S.H.I.E.L.D. after discovering their attempt to replicate his Ant-Man shrinking technology. Believing the technology would be dangerous if replicated, Hank vows to hide it for as long as he lives. It was cool seeing Michael Douglas age to look 25 years younger so he would match his wife's Catherine Zeta-Jones age. In the present day, Hank's estranged daughter, Hope Van Dyne, and former Prod A copyright Darren Cross, have forced him out of his company, Pym Technologies. Cross is close to perfecting a shrinking suit of his own, the Yellow Jacket, which horrifies Pym, and not because it's going to be a yellow suit. Upon his release from prison, well-meaning thief Scott Lang moves in with his old cellmate, Louise. Scott visits his daughter Cassie unannounced and is chastised by his former wife Maggie and her police detective fiancé copyright Paxton, for not providing child support. Unable to hold down a job because of his criminal record, Scott agrees to join Louise's crew and commit a burglary. Scott breaks into a house and cracks its safe, but only finds what he believes to be an old motorcycle suit, which he takes home. After trying the suit on, Scott accidentally shrinks himself to the size of an insect. Terrified by the experience, he returns the suit to the house, but is arrested on the way out. See kids, let that be a lesson: should never return anything you stole in the first place. Hank, the homeowner, visits Scott in jail and smuggles the suit into his cell to help him break out. Hank, who manipulated Scott through an unknowing Louise into stealing the suit as a test, wants Scott to become the new Ant-Man to steal the Yellow Jacket from Cross. Having been spying on Cross after discovering his intentions, Hope and Hank train Lang to fight and to control ants. I wish I can control ants. Those mfers are swarming my home. I was gonna protest watching Ant-Man because ants have officially moved in my home and won't go away. Anyways, while Hope harbors resentment towards Hank about her mother Janet's death, he reveals that Janet, known as the Wasp, disappeared into a subatomic quantum realm while disabling a Soviet nuclear missile in 1980. Hank warns Scott that he could suffer a similar fate if he overrides his suit's regulator. They send him to steal a device that will aid their heist from the Avengers headquarters, where he briefly fights Sam Wilson. Scott won that fight, but it never made sense to me where Falcon would lose to a single ant. Cross perfects the Yellow Jacket and hosts an unveiling ceremony at Pym Technologies headquarters. Scott, along with his crew and a swarm of flying ants, infiltrates the building during the event, sabotages the company's servers, and plants explosives. When he attempts to steal the Yellow Jacket, he, along with Hank and Hope, are captured by Cross, who intends to sell both the Yellow Jacket and Ant-Man suits to Hydra. Can't believe Hydra is still around. I always wondered how they keep recruiting people to join. Their HR must have challenges selling jobs. So, Scott breaks free and he and Hope dispatch most of the Hydra agents, though one flees with the vial of Cross particles and Hank is shot. Scott pursues Cross, while the explosives detonate, imploding the building as Hank and Hope escape. Cross dons the Yellow Jacket and attacks Scott before Scott is arrested by Paxton. Cross takes Cassie hostage to lure Scott into another overrides the regulator and shrinks to subatomic size to penetrate Cross' suit and sabotage it to shrink uncontrollably, seemingly killing Cross. Also, looking back now where he shrunk down and penetrates Cross, I am wondering if it was a violation type penetration. Scott disappears into the quantum realm but manages to reverse the effects and returns to the macroscopic world. Out of gratitude for Scott's heroism, Paxton covers for Scott to keep him out of prison. Paxton isn't a douche after all. Seeing that Scott survived and returned from the quantum realm, Hank wonders if his wife, Janet, is alive as well. Later, Scott meets up with Louie, who tells him that Sam Wilson is looking for him. Louise is the MVP of the movie if you ask me. In a mid-credits scene, Hank shows Hope a prototype suit and offers it to her. I love the Wasp suit too. Of course it doesn't hurt that my lost crush Evangeline Lilly is the one filling out the Wasp suit. In a post-credits scene, Steve Rogers and Sam Wilson have Bucky Barnes in their custody. Unable to contact Tony Stark because of the Accords, Wilson mentions that he knows someone who can help, and that someone is not me. Unless it's Excel spreadsheets. If Excel spreadsheets were power, I'd be an Avenger. Okay, that is my review of the first Ant-Man. All in all great. Love this movie and start of this franchise and trilogy. After watching Quantumania, I have much more appreciation for the first two movies. Great mix of action, humor attached to my love of comics. Ant-Man showed up at the height of the MCU with Spider-Man leading up to each movie was outstanding. I'll rewatch and recap review Ant-Man and Wasp next. Hope you enjoyed. Like,